Such ugly and talentless girl doesn't even look like me at all. It's not my kid anyway, is it? So said my husband and his mother, who favored only our gifted son. They insisted that she should work right out of middle school, and the things I had prepared for her high school life were torn to shreds. Unable to bear it anymore, I fled with my son and daughter, the three of us. I am Karen. Just a 35-year-old stay-at-home mom living with my husband, son, and daughter, like any other family. My son Tom has had clear and distinct features that everyone could see since he was a baby. Often mistaken for a girl because of his adorable appearance. He was even told by my friends that your son could join the famous talent agency. And yet, he is kind, gentle, smart, and wise. By the age of 3, I believe he could already converse like an adult. On the other hand, my daughter, Lily. As her parent, she is the cutest girl in the world, without any doubt. However, she was far from what is commonly referred to as a pretty girl in appearance. She had a chubby physique. With her plump cheeks, her narrow, small eyes were almost hidden, and her hair was frizzy. She grew slowly, she was late to start speaking, and it seemed she wasn't good at physical activities. Yet, I loved both my daughter and son more than anything in the world and was content for them to grow at their own pace. However, there were those who disapproved of my daughter. My husband adored our son. When he came home from work, he would only pay attention to Tom. To Lily, who desperately tried to get her dad to play with her, he would harshly say, "Don't try to flatter me, it's disgusting." Each time, Tom would suggest, "I want to play with my sister too, let's all play together." But my husband would respond, "Don't play with your sister." Stupidity might be contagious, and would only let Tom sit on his lap. Tom seemed uncomfortable on his cheerfully doting father's lap. Being the smart boy he is, he probably understood all the awful things his father said about his sister. My mother-in-law also doted on my son and repeatedly treated Lily harshly. My husband's family owned a business. My husband's father had passed away, and he was expected to take over the business, so we visited my in-laws' house once a week. Each time, my mother-in-law would blatantly show her displeasure, saying, "Oh, Karen and Lily came too." It would have been fine with just my son and Tom. Even though she said we didn't need to come, she treated me like a servant and would call to complain if we didn't show up. I didn't want to visit my in-laws, but since my husband forced me to help with chores there, I had no choice but to accompany him. That day, my mother-in-law surprisingly said she would take Tom and Lily to the department store and park by train. While Lily was happy to play with her grandmother, I had a bad feeling. However, unable to escape the chores imposed on me, I sent them off with a sense of unease. In the evening, my mother-in-law returned, carrying a sleepy Tom on her back. "Wow, he's gotten so heavy. Tom has grown up, hasn't he?" My mother-in-law says so happily. But I couldn't see Lily anywhere. "Where is Lily?" I asked, fearing the worst. When I asked, surprised, my mother-in-law responded without a hint of guilt, "I have no idea." Both of them looked sleepy. I told Lily to walk by herself because I couldn't carry both of them, so I only carried Tom, she said confidently. I felt the blood drain from my body. I rushed out, slipping on my sandals and running towards the station. I couldn't believe she would leave such a small child behind. Praying for her safety, I dashed into the police station at the train station. "Mommy." At that moment, I heard crying, and Lily ran into my arms. I felt all my strength leave me. The officer said, "I'm glad, are you her mother?" She was found crying at the station. "You should not take your eyes off such a small child." While patting Lily's head, "Now you're all right because your mom has come to pick you up." I thanked the officer repeatedly, held Lily's hand tightly, and we started our journey home. On the way, Lily spoke in her faltering speech. I was sleepy. I slept on the bench because Grandma said it was okay, at the station. I woke up and no one was there, so I cried. "Sorry, are you mad?" "Of course not, I'm sorry for making you feel frightened." As Lily spoke, gauging my reaction, I couldn't help but hug her tightly. Upon returning to my in-laws, both my mother-in-law and my husband sighed at the sight of Lily. "So, she was found, huh?" Hearing my husband's disappointed tone, I couldn't help but yell, "Are you telling me that you don't care what happens to your own children?" My husband showed no signs of remorse, but on the contrary, he retorted with something outrageous. I don't care what happens to her. Such ugly and talentless girl doesn't even look like me at all. It's not my kid anyway, is it? You're probably trying to pass off a child you had with some other man as mine, but that's not going to fly. Hearing this, my mother-in-law laughed and said, I wouldn't have minded not finding a child I didn't even know where she came from. I haven't cheated. Lily is truly your daughter. What proof do you have that I had an affair? I complained, only to be snarked at. The fact that she looks nothing like me and is both unintelligent and unattractive is proof enough of your infidelity. After that, Lily and I stopped visiting my in-laws. No matter how much my husband scolded me or how many snide remarks my mother-in-law made over the phone, I endured it all to protect Lily. Tom was aware of how my husband and mother-in-law were treating us. If I say I won't go, Grandma will be in a bad mood, he said. I'll be fine on my own, I'll go. You and Lily don't have to worry about anything. Tom said, patting Lily's head. Feeling guilty towards Tom, we remained home. Tom is truly a kind child. Dealing with my moody mother-in-law must have been hard, but he managed well with his cheerful and friendly nature. I thought about getting a divorce many times, but as a housewife with no professional qualifications, I could not believe that I would be able to raise Tom and Lily on my own. So I could only endure this life. And so, Lily and I were practically estranged from my in-laws for several years. Tom had already become a working adult, and Lily was about to enter high school the following year. Lily was looking forward to her high school life, with her uniform, new bag, and textbooks all ready. My husband's behavior towards Lily remained the same, but we decided not to let it bother us anymore. As long as I have my brother and mom on my side, that's all I need. Every time Lily said that with a smile, my heart ached. Still, seeing Lily excited about her new life made me feel more positive too. But then, an incident occurred. My husband saw Lily's new uniform and textbooks and flew into a rage. What is this? Don't tell me you're planning on going to high school? I've raised you this far, even though you're not my own child. Get your job as soon as you get out of middle school and give me back the money that has been spent on you so far. Throw this stuff away. Now. He screamed, tearing up the textbooks and ripping the uniform, throwing them into the muddy garden after days of rain. I'll have my mom preach to you, too. Saying that, he called his mother. She, as if she had been waiting for this, came over immediately. Don't you dare think about going to high school with my son's money, you ungrateful child. You should be grateful we even let you finish middle school. Start working right after you graduate and give all your earnings to us. Karen, you should be thankful we've raised this child you had from an affair. My mother-in-law said gleefully. Remember, our heir, Tom, is more important than you and your incompetent daughter. You two, with your poor abilities and bad appearance, are nothing but a negative influence on him. Get out. Lily and I listened to the harsh words from my husband and mother-in-law while picking up the uniform and textbooks that were thrown into the garden. Soaked by the rain, we were both covered in mud. The rain wet our hair, and droplets trailed down our faces. Soon, I couldn't tell if it was the rain or tears on my face. With my son already living elsewhere, there was no one left to stop the two of them. Lily and I looked at each other. Having been treated this way, we realized there was no reason for us to stay in this house any longer. Then, Lily and I took only what we absolutely needed and left the house. My husband and mother-in-law were all too happy to get rid of us and agreed to the divorce readily. With nowhere to go, we turned to Tom for help. He was shocked to see us drenched and dirty but quickly understood the situation and welcomed us into his home. Tom offered us a shower and a change of clothes and made us a warm drink. After calming down a bit, we discussed what to do next. I just got a call from Dad, saying he's divorced you. Then he told me not to let you two in my house because you're now strangers. He wants me to quit my job immediately and take over the family business, but I have no intention of inheriting that store. I hate them. Hearing Tom say that made my heart ache. I couldn't help but think about how hard it must have been for him, caught in the middle between us and my in-laws since he was young. I thought I'd endure it as long as you were married, and Lily was in that house. But now, there's no need for that anymore, right? Tom said with a smirk. Lily, would you mind if we moved to a different school district? I'm about to be transferred to another state for work. Let's all move there together. Don't tell Dad and Grandma about this, of course. I hope their store goes out of business. Seeing Tom talk so excitedly, Lily exclaimed, "Of course I'm going," clearly thrilled. Feeling guilty for always relying on Tom, I decided that following him was the best option. Things moved swiftly from there. Within a few weeks, we had started a new life in a new place. My husband and mother-in-law never knew how excellent Lily actually was. She was just a bit slower to develop than others. She excelled at exams. In our new home, she passed the entrance exam to a prestigious high school on her first try. We canceled our phones, so there was no contact with my husband and mother-in-law. Only Tom kept in touch with them to keep tabs on their situation. Going completely off the grid could lead them to search desperately for us, so it was Tom's idea to have a way to let off some steam. Another 10 years have passed since then. Lily is now an adult, Tom has a decent position at his company, and we all live separately. Today is a rare occasion for a family dinner. Dressed a bit fancier than usual, I waited for them at the meeting place. Suddenly, I was approached by someone exclaiming, "Wait! Karen! Is that you, Karen?" "Yes, it's really you, Karen." Standing there was my ex-husband, now almost bald and fat as a barrel. And beside him was my former mother-in-law, with gray hair and a bent back, looking like a witch from a storybook. Their appearances were truly bizarre and people around them seemed to avoid them. "Karen, where have you been for the last 10 years? We were worried. Are you mad that my mom and I told you that Lily was the child of a man you had an affair with? I'll forgive you for cheating on me. Now come back. I haven't seen Lily and Tom in so long, where are my children?" My ex-husband ranted, foaming at the mouth. He looked like a crab. Despite appearing like a barrel. "He's right, I forgive you for what you have done, and come back. We're in a lot of trouble right now," she screamed with a raspy voice. Her voice had the force of a real witch. Despite it being a reunion after 10 years, I found myself observing them with a strangely calm mind, my heart unmoved, when I heard a voice. "Mom. Mom, everything's all right?" There stood a man with the refreshing look of a successful businessman and a slender, lovely woman dressed in a beautiful dress. Pointing at these two, their mouths gaped open, seemingly unable to close. Well, are you Tom and Lily?" "Yes, we are." "Anyway, Dad, why are you and Grandma here?" Tom answered nonchalantly. "I knew it, you two have grown up so great. I almost didn't recognize you, Lily. You've changed so much. You've become a beauty. That's my girl. I never thought that Lily would become such a gorgeous young lady. I wish I could have seen her grow up closer." Ignoring Tom's question, the two of them continued to talk on their own. Indeed, after moving with us, either thanks to being free from the stress from her father and grandmother, or maybe her dedication to club activities in high school, her once chubby face slimmed down rapidly, and her previously hidden eyes became more prominent with her defined facial features. Perhaps her hair quality changed during puberty, but her frizzy hair turned into nice wavy hair. Not just a parent's wishful thinking, Lily now could stand side by side with most pop stars in terms of beauty. Well, since her brother Tom is handsome, it's natural that Lily would also have the potential to be beautiful. Both of them are excellent and now work for a major corporation. I'm very proud of both of my kids, who are considerate of their mother. Now that the family is together for the first time in 10 years, let's go out to eat. I'm short on cash, so Tom and Lily will treat us, right? I raised you to this far, so I'm looking forward to your filial piety from now on." Saying this, my ex-husband placed his hand on Lily's shoulder. However, she swiftly brushed his hand off. "Don't touch me, it's disgusting. I've been told my whole life that I was a child born from an affair. I don't have a father. I don't remember being raised by you. Who are you?" Lily, wearing heels, was taller than him. Looking down on him, she cast a cold gaze. "Dad, no, I don't even want to call you Dad anymore. You haven't forgotten what you did to Mom and Lily, have you? We've kept in touch sparingly, but that ends now. I will be completely cut off from you as of today." Tom spoke indifferently, leaving my ex-husband stunned for a moment, but he soon began to rage. How dare you speak to your parent like that? Lily, you come back home right now and marry the son of a big company nearby to establish a connection with our store. Tom, you come back and help revive the store. Karen, you apologize for everything you've done and devote to me and my mom for the rest of your life. Then I will forgive you. He burst into a fiery rage. Watching him, Tom and Lily exchanged glances. And they couldn't help but burst out laughing. We don't need your forgiveness. Why do you think we want to be forgiven by you? How did you even come to think that way? First of all, I'm getting married soon, so I can't marry that son of the big company or whatever you're talking about. That's too bad. I'm also about to start my own business, so I can't take over the store. Oh, it's such a shame. It's too bad to see such an old store close down. Such a shame. Both chuckled, shaking their shoulders in laughter. My ex-husband wore a look of utter despair. No way, Karen, you'll come back to us, right? His pleading gaze was disgusting. There's no way I'm coming back. Who would willingly become a slave again? I am remarried to say the least, so it's impossible for me to go back. Oh, what a shame. I flaunted the shining ring on my left ring finger. What? Remarried? You married someone else without telling me. I don't approve. I won't admit it. He tried to snatch the ring by grabbing my arm. Tom hastily tried to intervene, but a man stepped between my ex-husband and me even quicker. Do you need something from my wife? Please refrain from any rough behavior. He felt intimidated by the man's commanding presence. Who the hell are you? He shouted back with all the bravado he could muster. I'm David, Karen is my wife. Karen and you were divorced 10 years ago. I am the lawyer who assisted with the proceedings at that time. So I am well aware of the details. Lawyer. My ex-husband, weak in the face of authority, seemed considerably shaken by the man claiming to be a lawyer. Indeed, I hit it off with David, the lawyer who helped me during my divorce, after having various conversations with him, and we started dating. And then we got married a few years ago. My ex-husband's face turned red with rage, practically foaming at the mouth. He looked like a boiling lobster or a barrel. What's with the lawyers? Just because you make a little more money doesn't make you a big deal. Everyone should do as I say. Karen is my wife, and Tom and Lily are my children. You're in the way. Damn it, you bastard. He yelled and, thinking who knows what, charged at my husband like a bull. However, he dodged smoothly without any sign of panic. What the? No way. The barrel, no, my ex-husband, unable to stop his momentum, tumbled and rolled away with a pitiful sound. Oh no. My son, my ex-mother-in-law cried out in agony. Surprised, we watched him, wondering if he was all right, only to hear him, still on his back from the fall, furiously shout. I'll still forgive you now. Fortunately, it seemed he wasn't seriously injured. But, it appeared the fall was too much for even a barrel like him to quickly get back up. As I was wondering what to do next, my husband said, I've called an ambulance, so he should be fine. Let's leave the rest to them. And gently placed his hand on my shoulder. Lily, fuming, said, it's too kind to call an ambulance for him. Just leave him. Even her angry face was adorable. But hey, isn't it about time for our reservation at the restaurant? Let's go before we're late. Tom urged us. That's right, today was an important day to have a meal together as a family. Encouraged by my husband saying, let's go, it's all right, we left the scene. We could hear my ex-husband and ex-mother-in-law shouting behind us, but nothing scared us anymore. Months later, I heard that my ex-husband's shop, which had been barely managing, finally went bankrupt. David learned about it from a contact in the real estate business. It was impressive how they managed to hold on for 10 years after we left. My ex-husband, claiming he was unable to work due to injuries from the fall, shut himself in at home, leaving everything, including housework and business, to my ex-mother-in-law. To repay the debts incurred from closing the shop, she was desperately working, despite her old age. Hearing about their recent situation, I was somewhat impressed by the fact that there really is such a thing as karmic retribution, that is, those who continue to do terrible things to others will one day have it come back to them. One Sunday afternoon, I took out a dress from the dresser to wear to Lily's wedding and held it against my body. "That looks great on you," he said. "Which suit do you think looks better on me? But to think I can attend as Lily's father, that makes me really happy." Turning to those words, there stood my husband, holding 2 suits in his hands and smiling with a slightly embarrassed look.